Hey everyone, it's David at Finish Line Factory, and this is pretty interesting. This is a 2006 Rolls Royce Phantom. I believe this car back in 2006 actually had an MSRP of around like $400,000. But this model with about 20,000 miles on it or so, you can get one for about 120,000. So I'm just going to go around the exterior, interior, check out the BMW V12 under the hood, and we're going to check it out. Let's go. So one of the defining features of this car is just its massive size. This car is over 6 foot 6 inches wide and over 19 feet long. So this car is wider and longer than most trucks. It has an extremely commanding presence on the road, especially with these suicide doors. Really more of a limousine than a sedan, but some people have drivers. Some people choose to drive the cars themselves. There's nothing wrong with that. But the car is so huge that even its 21-inch wheels look barely adequate to be proportionate to the car. I feel like it needs to have like 24s or something to match the proportions of modern cars. But let's take a quick look on the interior. I've got the key here. Just give me a second. So this car was produced after BMW purchased Rolls Royce. And so as a matter of fact, the motor is a BMW V12. And a lot of the electronics and experience is actually the sounds that the car makes. A lot of the parts are lifted directly off of the 7 Series. But this is no 7 Series. This is nothing other than the motor, which is the N73. It has a 6.75 liter engine, which is an enlarged version of the 760 Li's engine. It's mostly its own car. I've driven a 760 Li, and these drive completely different. A 760 Li has more of a slightly more sporty feel, whereas this it feels more like you're driving a cloud than a car. So I've got the key here. As you can see, it looks just like the BMW key, except it has a Rolls Royce logo in the middle. So that locks the doors. This unlocks the doors. This will actually open the trunk. So that's I think you just double tap it. Is that right? No, I think you tap and hold it. There you go. And it just lifts up on its own, revealing this massive trunk space. I mean, seriously, look at this. Not only is the opening huge, so you can put large things, suitcases, whatever it might have, but you can put the trunk itself is just massive. Now, I'd say this, like, because it stops right here and this doesn't fold down, I kind of feel like it's not as big as some other trunks, but I certainly think that it's taller than most trunks. So. But these cars aren't really intended for transporting large amounts of cargo. It's more for shuffling passengers around, perhaps their luggage in comfort. So to close it, you can go ahead and push this button here. Considering that it has an electronically closing trunk, I haven't been able to figure out how to close the trunk with the key. I'm not sure if it's even possible, but I'll have to look that up sometime. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at the interior. Over here, you got suicide doors. Oh, you gotta unlock the car first. Look at that. So, suicide doors. Bam. Bam. And let's take a quick look at the interior. Put the key in my pocket. So back here, let's see, what amenities do I have back here? Got the auto down button here for the windows. Is this some kind of cubby, or is this? No, it's just a piece of plastic. No, okay, it is, yeah. So yeah, you got the ashtray here. You have your own personal. Oh, really? Oh, each passenger has their own individual 12-volt socket and cigarette lighter, so you can each charge your own phones if you have the charger. You have your own. You have the tweeter and mid-range, and yeah, you got your own door pockets for stashing away stuff. Now, one thing that actually confused me at first when I got into this car was how do I close the door? Where do I grab it? And it turns out you actually grab this up here. The grab handle is here, and it's usually not there. Usually it's like somewhere here or whatever, or maybe it's like a grab handle you pull here. But no, the grab handle is up here. So let's take a look inside. And oh man. It's got these plush carpets. I feel like I'm sitting in the living room right now. Let me go ahead and close the door. Come on. Wow. I feel like I'm in a living room, not in a car. Oh, I need the light though. So I mean, leave the door open. I mean, look how much legroom I've got. I've got at least a foot or more between my knee and the seat. So let's see. I think I've got like a table out here. There you go. Yep, you got a little table that extends. I can perhaps do a little bit of do some work or something, and it just beautifully just folds back into this into here. And I've got a little cubby hole for stashing files, taxes, I guess. I don't know. What else do we have down here? One thing I noticed about this car is just how everything just kind of stashes away. So if you look, even if you look over here on the dashboard, everything is just kind of hidden away. The cup holders, the buttons, the controls. Only the bare minimum, like the radio controls, are left exposed. So coming down here, I say I think this might be a cup holder. I can't figure it out. These are you have controls for the AC. Each passenger has their own individual AC control. So look at this. If I want my AC on, but this passenger does not, they can just turn theirs off. I can set mine on max. Look at that. You also have your own individual heat control right there, and I think this controls the vent itself. And I think this is nothing. I think sometimes they have special functions for this armrest, but this armrest it's just an armrest, just a leather armrest. All right, so let's head to the front of the car. So here you got 4-window auto down. This is actually the mirror control. Let me get in and turn the car on. So here's a cold start on a 2006 Rolls Royce Phantom. You get the key, put it in the slot, and you foot in the brake. Look at that. Once it stops, the starter turns off. This car is whisper quiet. Like the wind blowing around, the trees are louder than everything in this car. Look at this. So yeah, you got the controls there. One thing I noticed about this car is that you know how most cars, the indicator it has separate light for the left and right. On this car, it's just one indicator. So if you're turning left, it's that indicator. Turning right, it's that indicator. But yeah, you've got your volume controls here, telephone, the horn is there. Low. I don't know what this does. Let me see. Don't know what low does. Navigation. And skip track. Yeah, track up, track down. Over here, now this is pretty unique. So this is actually the train's passing by. This is actually the headlight controls. So this is pretty unique. Usually it's like a rotary dial, but this is really, you gotta put a lot of effort into turning it. Actually, this is parking lights, off, automatic, and on. And over here, normally, I would expect that the flashers would be here, but I think this is the actual. Let me see here. I'm not sure what this does. Is this for the fog light? I think it's for the fog light, actually. I thought it was for the high beams. High beams are up here. Yeah, so that's the high beams. See that flashing the high beams? I'm not sure what this does. I think it could be for the fog lights, but I don't see a fog light turning on. So yeah, if you know what this does, leave it in the comments. Let me know. Over here is also the panel brightness, so you can turn that on and off. Can't see it in the daytime, so it doesn't really make a difference. Coming over here, oh, this is actually something interesting. You don't have a center console mounted shifter. Instead, you have a column shifter up here. So you just put your foot on the brake, move that up there, and the selector is up here on the steering wheel. So look at that. So then you just put it down. That's drive. And to park it, I think you just push it in twice, and it moves over to park. Come on. Okay, maybe I wasn't pushing it right. Over here, you got the radio switches and controls. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You've also got the skip forward, back, eject the CD if there's a CD in there. Switch between different modes. Doesn't have satellite radio, this model. In addition, everything on this car just kind of stows away. So you don't have seat controls down here. No, that wouldn't be stately. That wouldn't be nice. it's over here. Push that, and oh no, wait, that's for something else entirely. This is actually for the iDrive system. The seat controls are here. Look at that. Just no, wait, that's not the seat controls. That's the ashtray with the cigarette lighter. The seat controls are there. There we go. You see. So, to change the seat mode, you actually have your memory seats here, and to adjust the seat, normally you see something like this, you could just push it in like a certain direction, but no, that's actually not how it works. You push the button, and then you control it with this joystick. So now I can move it back and forth. I can move it up and down. You push this button. Moving this up and down controls the headrest, and this controls the forward and back motion. I'm not sure what this does. Oh, this tilts the entire seat back and forth. And what does this do? Not entirely sure. It could be like lumbar adjustment, but I haven't been able to figure that out. And you have some, perhaps for keeping some spare change here. Little cubby hole. Look at that. Just close that. There we go. And over here, you've got the center console storage. With perhaps, it looks like this might be a storage for a phone or something like that. And it just snaps closed. In addition, even the cup holders are hidden. Look at this. And this is your, oh wait, no, this is for a phone, I suppose? For dialing somebody? That's not the cup holder. The cup holders are here. There you go. This flips up. Oh, there's the cigarette lighter. Let me put this back in. Put this guy back. Oh wait, no, that's the iDrive again. I think it would take me a little while to figure out and just remember where everything is. So put the cigarette lighter back in. And yeah, there's your cup holders. Nice and low. They look decently shaped. Kind of look a little shallow, so you might want to be careful as you're driving. Let's see, what else we got here? Oh, you also have the two glove boxes. One is your lockable glove box, which is there. And that just comes here. And I'll explain these functions in a moment. And the other is your standard glove box, which is right there. And that's just this cavernous thing. And I think there's actually looks like there's a drive here perhaps for the satellite navigation. So I'll go ahead and close that up and check this out. Oh, is it already open? Oh, okay, I never actually closed it. That's why it's not opening. So here, with this button, you can actually hide the Spirit of Ecstasy. So with this, you can just push it like that, and it goes away. You can bring it back. And press up on it, and it comes back. Press down. You see, you know what? You can't really see it. Let me zoom in on it. And it comes up. Push the button again, and it comes down. So, oh, and by the way, this actually is not two separate buttons here. It's actually one button, and it just toggles up and down. M and A, I'm not sure what this does. I think this actually might be so that if someone tries to steal the Spirit of Ecstasy, it'll automatically hide itself with the car locked. This locks and unlocks the trunk, and this is for setting the clock, so you can actually advance and look at that. Cool. All right. And then, of course, on the zoom back out. On the dashboard, you also have all of these functions here for controlling the vents and so on and so forth. And what's cool about these vents is that you just position them like that, and it'll direct them to exactly where you want them to blow. So it's super simple. Up on the center console, up on the dash, on the cluster, you've got the speedometer with mileage and kilometers. You also have the fuel tank, the water temperature. You have here the range, and well, this is a little information center. It tells you different functions about the car if there's a fault or an issue with it. Over here, different warning lights and your power reserve. So as you're driving around, it'll remind you how much power you have left in that V12, which I'm going to pop the hood and we're going to check that out pretty soon. All right, after a few minutes of finagling, I finally found it. The hood catch release is here on the side. So you push that and lift up on it. So I'm just going to put a hand here, lift up on that, and the hood is released. And here we are. the 6.75 liter Rolls Royce V12. So, hood's all the way up. Look at that. Everything's nice and toasty right now. You got this massive radiator cowl here. And here's the signature Rolls Royce grill. The grill is actually styled this way because back in the day, this part you see on older cars, that was actually the radiator. Now it's just the grill. That's why, you know, it's called a radiator grill, because it's literally a radiator. So now it's just the grill, and it directs the air towards the condenser and radiator back here. And it's a little difficult to see, but there's a massive, like 16-inch fan pulling air through this grill and through the radiator. Back here you actually got, this is actually fairly compact if you think about it. You got the dual throttle bodies for each side of the engine, and they're both feeding the air from those two air boxes in the rear. Not really a whole lot to see over here, but I do like that they styled the engine instead of just, you know, putting some plastic valve covers on it and, you know, calling it a day. So, all right, you got the washer tank. Look at that, all black. And yeah, so not really a whole lot to see over here. So I'll just go ahead and close this up. All right, guys, that's the interior and exterior of the Rolls Royce Phantom. I'm going to take it on a quick spin back to the dealership, and let's get check this out. I'm sure it'll be a very comfortable ride. You hear that ding? It's for a 7 Series. So, car starts right up, whisper quiet, and we're moving. So everything on this car is just so comfortable. Everything's just whisper quiet. You don't hear a single thing. All right, we're on the road, and it's super smooth. Like when the transmission shifts, it has a ZF 6-speed transmission, and when it shifts, you feel like a slight bump, if that, but other than that, it's extremely comfortable. Going over bumps, yeah, I mean you feel them, but they're not harsh or anything. It's just extremely well absorbed. The car does have a 450 horsepower V12, but that V12 isn't optimized for any kind of performance at all. It's more optimized for smoothness, for power delivery, but more for just cruising around and comfort. Now I'm sure that it being powered by a V12, the fuel mileage isn't all that great, but well, you're in a Rolls Royce, so what do you expect? So I'm back at Autosport Group in Delray Beach. They have this car for sale. Come and check it out. They also have a bunch of other cars, the S-Class Coupe, S550. I've been working with them for the last few weeks for just doing some car reviews, and check them out. I'm going to have a link to their website as well as their contact information in the description below. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe, hit like, and leave a comment if you have anything you want to say. See you guys. Peace.